All right. Hey everyone, my name is Goblin. Welcome to another God guide for Odin this time. We're going to be going over how you want to play Odin, what you want to build, and how to use your abilities, what to level up, everything that you're going to need to know to play the God in solo. So let's start off with what do the abilities do on Odin. So the passive is when gods are dead, you get 10% bonus power. You don't have to think about this. You don't really have to play around it. You just get a bonus power sometimes when you're fighting. And you also get movement speed, which is good. Okay, so the one is a standard leap, does damage. Literally nothing else. You jump forward and you deal damage in an area around you. Your two, Raven Shout, is what's going to matter there. So on Odin, the main combo is called a Bird Bomb. What you do is you cast Raven Shout, which gives you a health shield, which does scale off of your power, by the way. And then when you leap and land on somebody, it does bonus damage. So after some time, the shield will explode like this. And if you jump while you have it up, and when you land, it will explode automatically. So you put it on, and then you jump forward, and it hits. That does quite a lot of damage as well. 340, and this does 300 when it's scaled up. So that's a lot of damage on the leap. And then your third ability, Gungnir's Might, you have two parts to this ability. It's going to pulse 2 times, and then you're going to be able to throw it. So the pulses look like this. 1, 2. And then you get this targeter where you can throw the spear. Now, if you let it pulse both times when you throw it, it will stun enemy gods. If you only let it pulse once, it will do an AoE boost to attack speed for you and your teammates. So if I go 1 and then throw, I now have higher attack speed. It went up to 1.52, and then it goes back down to 1.22. Last ability, we have the cage. This is the premier feature of Odin. We're going to place a cage around us that looks like this. And these are walls that enemy gods cannot walk through. And then there's a couple interactions with the cage. If an enemy god autos one of the walls 5 times, it will break and they will be able to leave. If they leap, use a jump ability to go out of the cage, a spear will chase them and do damage. That goes up to 400 base damage. While they're inside the cage, they cannot heal at all. So it's a very good tool against characters like Hel and Aphrodite to prevent them from healing and they can't escape. And is there anything I'm missing? Oh yeah. When an enemy god dies inside the cage, you gain power on Odin. And it's, I believe, 5 power, and you can get 10 stacks. So yeah. What you want to be doing is trying to use the cage to confirm kills on ganks so that you get the free power. It's not the end of the world. Like, you don't need that power for the character to be good, but again, it's free power. It is strong to have. So that's everything that the abilities do. The leveling priority is at level 1, I take Gungnir's Might to clear. At level 2, you take Lunge so that you have safety, and it also helps you clear. It does 120 base damage to the wave. This is very good to help you clear. If you jump and Gungnir's Might, like if you jump the whole wave and then use Gungnir's Might on the archers, they should be dead, even at level 2. Then at level 3, you take Raven Shout, and we are actually going to scale up Raven Shout first. The way that you want to play Odin is to Bird Bomb. That's what it's called when you Raven Shout and Lunge. You want to Bird Bomb the wave and basically clear it instantly if you jump right in the middle. And the best way to do that, which also gives you the shortest cooldown ability and gives you the most safety, is going to be just to level up Raven Shout first. Gungnir's Might has really, really good damage, but it has very good base damage even at rank 1. So I level up Raven Shout first, then Gungnir's Might, then Lunge, and I put the points in the alt last, so you just need the 1 point. The cooldown doesn't matter that much until the late game. You're only going to be using this for ganking, or if you get ganked, you can use it to trap them and run away. But if the enemy character doesn't leap out, the scaling damage doesn't even matter. So you're basically only looking at the cooldown here. Don't need to put points in it until the late game. That's going to cover it for the leveling order. So the most difficult part of the game for Odin is the early game. Odin does not get very much pressure in solo until he can one-shot the wave with his bird bomb and use Gungnir's Might to trade. So what you want to basically be doing is when you're level 1, you use Gungnir's Might to clear, and then you level up to 2, and you've got your jump and your 3. Right? And it's the first wave. You basically want to be going in. You're going to be coming from the side, right? Because you've cleared your blue. You want to jump the middle of the wave, hit all the minions, kill the archers, and then it's going to take 1 or 2 autos on each of them to kill them with the golden shard. That is going to be the best way to clear the first wave, and then you don't really need to trade into the other guy yet. On the second wave, you want to try and do the same thing, but if you can only get the melees, that's okay. You just need to get those 3 minions down so that you get your Raven Shout. And once you're level 3, you basically have kind of a primary game plan. It's going to be that you are going to jump the wave with your bird bomb, right? Try to do as much damage as you can. Clear the archers if they're still up, or use autos to do it. And then you just don't want to hit the other guy. Like, fight into him if you have the advantage. But in a lot of matchups, Odin does not have the advantage early on. You need to be about level 7 or 8 before you can really trade into the other guy easily. So it's all about just gracefully giving up pressure on Odin, using your shield to trade. If you are trading, try to get your shield up so that you are not taking so much damage. Try to use your Gungnir's Might to stun the other character, and save your jump for safety if you need it, or for jumping the wave. Like, you don't want to be trying to like jump an enemy god like that, where they can easily juke that ability and it won't hit them for any damage, and now you have no safety. So that's kind of how you want to play the early game. Now, once you have enough points in Raven Shout to full clear, then you're going to be able to use your Gungnir's Might to trade with the other character. You want to be using both pulses and the stun. The attack speed stim, I really only use around objectives with my team, and sometimes to clear camps if I'm going to have to auto it a lot. So the early is definitely the hardest part on Odin. It's okay to be in your tower. Remember that being under your tower when you have this bird bomb combo that does so much damage, even if you let the whole wave go in your tower, like if the whole wave goes in and the first melee is getting shot by the tower, but then you bird bomb and you one-shot the whole wave, you'll only lose gold on that one minion. You don't lose gold on all of the minions. So it's okay to give up pressure on Odin and then let the wave go in your tower, bird bomb it, and lose gold on one minion, because you're getting full gold on all the other minions. So now we're going to go into what to build. So I have been trying a lot of different builds on Odin. I think there's 2 different paths that you can take. And this is what I think is the best. So I like going Sundering Axe every game, no matter what. I don't think Bluestone has as much value, so I always go Sundering Axe.
No thanks.
I've really been enjoying going Breastplate first. You want to get that 20% cooldown online as fast as possible, because when this cooldown is shorter, you have more trade potential, because you can bird bomb more often, kill the wave, farm better, and you have more safety, because this is 340 health plus your power every 9.6 seconds. That is an insane amount of lane sustain. It's better than any healing in the game if you are consistently using that shield to mitigate damage. Then I like to go Mystical Mail. This lets you farm really effectively, go full tank, and it does really good damage for you in the late game, because people stuck in your cage are just going to get ticked by this. Then I like to go Oni Hunters. It's going to give you max CCR, which is really good between these 2 items. So it's going to be very hard to lock you down and stop you from casting your shield and jumping away in the late game. It's also going to give you percentage mitigation. You want to be caging as many people as possible, so this is going to be stacked up all the time. And it's just really solid mana sustain and magical defense. Next, I like to go Pridwin. I always buy this glyph, so I typically will upgrade the Pridwin before I upgrade my starter, but I don't upgrade my breastplate until later. The Pridwin is just going to be the best damage item for you, because when you cage, they instantly take damage. Then if they pop the Pridwin shield, they take damage again. It's just really solid for him, and you want that cooldown, so now we have full cooldown. Last item, I've been really liking Archdruids. Again, people are going to be in that cage with you. They're going to have no opportunity to do anything but box you. And when they box you, it's going to stack up, and then you're going to auto them, and it's going to proc for a ton of damage. And it also gives you really, really good stats. 35 of each protections and 250 health is one of the best tank items in the game. After that, I would upgrade this usually to this one, unless they have double ADC and you're blink ulting the ADCs. If they have double ADC, you can go this version, but maximum protections is usually just good. You're obviously going to want teleport and upgrade that, and then I would always go blink on Odin. You do want to blink cage people in the late game. That's pretty much your main combo, is to blink cage and initiate. So the key thing with Odin is that in the fights, you can do a lot of damage, but you have to maximize that by how you're going to go through your abilities in the late game when you're going in on people. So presuming like our Pridwin would be up, we want to start all of the fights in the late game by blinking on the enemies, caging. Our Pridwin will pop, they'll start having no anti-heal. Our teammates can easily, or sorry, they're fully anti-healed, they can't heal at all. Our teammates can easily hit them. And then after cage, I immediately go into Gungnir's Smite, start charging that, and try to go for a stun. The reason for that is the cage is good for not letting them get away, but we still want to hard CC them so that our mages or our ADCs can easily hit them and start bursting them down really, really well. It's also our highest damage ability. The other thing that you want to keep in mind is you can't stack shields. So while the Pridwin shield is up, it's not valuable to cast your Raven Shout. So the key thing there is by the time the Gungnir's Smite has gone off, they've probably done damage to you and your Pridwin shield has popped. In the cage, I don't typically like to try and jump people. In the late game, I want to be saving jump for chasing or for escaping. So we are basically going to blink. My bad. I misclicked. Hold on 1 second. You're going to blink forward. You're going to cage. Start charging Gungnir's Might. Hit them. When your Pridwin pops, then put your shield on so that now you've still not taken any damage to your health. You can keep boxing with them. If they leap out of the cage to escape, you can jump after them to follow. And that's pretty much how you want to engage. Now, in the late game, you've got high cooldown, like a lot of CDR. Your cooldowns are quite short. You just want to be spamming. You want to be using this shield to mitigate. You want to be jumping on people when you can. But again, make sure that their movement or abilities are down and that they've got one way to walk so that it's telegraphed, or jump in a way so that if they juke it, they're juking back towards your team. So if I'm chasing somebody and they're running away like this, like they're running away and my team is behind me, I can jump in front of them so that they would have to juke backwards into my teammates to avoid that jump. Other than that, Odin really wants to stick with his team and go for the blink engage. You don't want to be fighting alone on Odin. He doesn't do enough damage to like 100 to 0 people easily. The bird bomb can be juked, and the Gungnir's Might is not like super confirmable. Like people can juke this when you're trying to throw the spear at them. So you really want to make sure that when you cage, your team is there to follow up. Do not use your cage without your team backing you up. And don't go away from your team when you're doing Fire Giant or Gold Fury or things like that. It's really good to force the enemy team to walk into your team cage them in the objective. They can't escape. They're taking damage from the objective. Your team is able to hit them, and you know, you're just being a menace, basically. You're super slippery in the late game using this shield, so it's just very good to try and survive on Odin, to get people low, don't really overcommit to chasing them, and then tanking damage, like body blocking, using your shield, standing in front of people, stopping autos from going through to your squishier characters. You are going to be super survivable on this god. You have a jump on like a 5-second cooldown. I guess it's 7, but 7 for an escape is very low as well. Another thing that you can do a lot of the time is like desync your bird bomb and your raven shout. When you're trying to live, you want to be like jumping away and then shielding, so that the shield doesn't go away when you land. If you're ever jumping defensively, you want to use the shield in a way, either pop it, wait for yourself to take the damage and then jump, or jump first and then use the shield, so that when people are chasing you down, it's just really incredibly hard to kill you. That's pretty much everything that I would do on Odin. Now I will show one more build path for those who are interested. I think you can also go a little bit of a different route. I would still go Sundering, but if you want to go more power, you can go Blackthorn into Gladiator Shield, and then the same last 3 items. This I also think is very good. You're going to have a bit more farm potential in the early game, being able to kill the camps quickly with the power from Blackthorn. You also have a little bit more trade potential with that first item. I think the trade potential with just the breastplate, like you're not really going to kill the other guy. You are very safe with a breastplate, but you're not going to be able to kill. If you have a matchup where you want to be pressuring out and killing the other player, you can go for this. I personally, though, in that late game, having the full defense of Breastplate Mystical versus Blackthorn Glad Shield is, in my opinion, a lot better. This is more damage on your abilities, but I don't think it's as good in the late game. However, if your team is playing for early, this is probably going to be better. Like if you have 3 early game characters on your team, and your team has to win early or you guys are going to lose. Like if it goes to 35 minutes, you're going to lose the game. This is probably a better build, because at 20 minutes, this is going to be probably a little bit stronger damage. And especially in the laning phase, it's going to give you more potential to get ahead and push your lead. All right, that's going to do it for this guide. If you liked, please like, leave a comment, let me know what gods I should do next. And thank you for watching, everyone. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope you all have a good day and have fun playing Odin out there. Bye.